It's Survival Solutions USA here. Welcome to part 1 on smoke grenades. I'm going to be looking at one brand. There are many, and I'll be looking at others in future videos. These are the Canon brand. These are the Canon Mammoth smokes, and they're manufactured in China, but these are civilian legal. So you as just a private citizen in the United States can own these. And you can use them, of course, doing so responsibly. And these are really designed to be kind of like something you would purchase and use on the 4th of July. But I've been thinking about them and looking at their use, and they have a relatively good price point. They're about $1.25 a piece. And I wanted to think about and kind of demo these items as useful tools in a without rule of law situation. That you could use these as distractions, so that you and your family could exit a dangerous situation, or as you would be maneuvering in a situation, you could use these as signaling devices possibly. So I'm just going to demo these for you. I'm also going to talk about some of the safety concerns that I have for them right now, and I want to do that right now. These I think are great tools, and I like the fact that they're legal for you and I to own as civilians. But a great way to lose your rights and privileges are to abuse those rights and privileges. And so you want to be really careful with these. These will light things on fire. Not only is that on the label, but that is a reality as I've used these. And I've used a number of these over the last couple years. I have purchased these Mammoth smokes in packages of 4. They come from locally during the 4th of July and different events where fireworks are sold. I've purchased these, and I have enjoyed them. All right, they're great little items. They come in these packs of 4, and I've purchased over the years a number of these packages of 4. You can see here, and you get blue, red, white, and a yellow item together here. And I've really enjoyed playing around and using these. But they not only will they light green grass on fire or burn green grass, but they will also light other things on fire that you wouldn't want to have lit on fire. They have the caution label right there that's very clear about that, but it will actually do it. A lot of times caution labels get stuck on stuff and it doesn't always happen, but I've just thrown these out recently and used them on green grass and seen that it kind of scorched the green grass. I'll show you a clip of that here if that happens today. It's been raining a lot, so that may not happen as easily today as it has, but I think these have useful applications in a situation where you would need a distraction. You would need something to distract people as you and your family or other loved ones try to escape from a hostile situation, or as you try to keep people or individuals back from a piece of property or a building or a fence or something like that. So I'm just going to demo here in this next clip lighting and firing off these, and then I'm just going to talk some more about the application. I just really want to be clear, you need to be careful. These things will light stuff on fire. Some of the other civilian legal smoke grenades that I've seen, they don't have the wick right here. They actually have a wick kind of down in the tube further. These have it right there, and it just blasts fire basically straight out right there. So these are... Okay, so here goes this first one. You are going to need a lighter to fire these things off with. See there? Starts pouring out the smoke. There we go. You can see what I mean about that flare. Just going to toss it out there. You can see I've created quite a bit of smoke, and it's working. It's doing what it's supposed to. It's kind of producing a smoky situation. I'm going to light another one here. I found that these particular versions tend to run for about 2 minutes, maybe a little bit less, maybe a little bit more than that. And you can see there, that was probably under 2 minutes. I think the best you're going to get is 2 minutes. You get some good smoke going out in the first 20-30 seconds. Get a nice steady burn through, and then the smoke kind of is going to fizzle out there. So just be aware of that. These aren't going to be giving you 10 minutes of really heavy smoke. I'll give a pan up here and let you guys get a view of kind of what it's doing in the sky a little bit there. But you can see down here it's doing and that one's still going. That's putting out a lot of nice smoke. Definitely a little item that you could throw out that's going to get people's attention. How effective that's going to be is going to be on the situation, the way the wind is blowing. You know, If the wind is blowing steadily, it's not going to be there. In a more enclosed space, for instance, in between two buildings, the smoke's going to maybe not dissipate as quickly. So there you go. As you can see, there's some external residue coming out here of this smoke grenade here, the yellow one. You can see there it's kind of some hard, crusty residue. These were really hot after I just fired them. It's been about 15 minutes and they've cooled off. You can also see it definitely scorched the grass pretty badly there. Again, it's going to light stuff on fire. Imagine that being carpet. Okay. And then I'm just going to come over here and show you guys the red one right there. You can definitely see it did the same exact thing there. At this point, I want to talk about the application and use of these excellent little items in a survival situation, in an urban, particularly urban survival situation where individuals might be attacking you or might be causing problems for you. They'd be a great use, a great distraction, a great way to get people's attention looking over here when something is actually happening over here. Okay? But I want to first here, before I talk about the application and use of these, I want to show you guys how I would set them up individually. I'd take them out of the package and how I would set them up, because you're going to need some kind of lighter to fire these things off. And if you're like me, you might have a lighter, okay? But you might misplace it in the heat of battle or as things are going kind of crazy, and you might not know exactly where they are, which means that this is basically useless to you. So you can see what I've done here with this one is I've taken electrical tape, and what you're going to need to do this is just electrical tape and a small Ziploc bags, sandwich bags, just fine. And you need to electrical tape those, and you're going to need individual Bic lighters. I would just buy the Bic lighters. I know this is going to raise the price. Again, these are about $1.25. I pay about $5 for a pack of 4. This is going to raise the price about to $2.50 per system as you do this the way I have them set up. I think that's worth it because you have the lighter with it. So what I do is I just attach the lighter with one wrap of the electrical tape to the smoke grenade. I have the wick here up above, okay, like that, and I have the end of the lighter down here. And then I put it in the sandwich bag and I wrap the sandwich bag. What this means is it's double wrapped right here. So it really would be hard to fire the lighter off. And even if that would happen, it's not attached right here. So even if this happened, it would not light the wick, which I'm worried about. You saw how it flared out there. I don't want that happening if these are in a bag or attached to my body in some way. So this is a self-contained unit. The way that I would deal with this in an actual situation where I want to use it is I would just grab it and I would just tear the lunch bag straight off like so. Might take a couple grabs. I would just grab the Bic lighter. I would just twist like so. Pull the Bic lighter off, and then boom, you're ready to go. Fire it up and toss it. Okay, so that's how I would use them. Just taking that lunch bag. Show you guys how I do this. I'm going to take the lunch bag and take the Bic lighter, and I'm going to take one little wrap of tape. Again, I'm making sure that my lighter is pointed in the opposite direction as the wick. That's just an additional safety concern. If you're really worried about the lighter firing off somehow accidentally, when I get the sandwich bag on, it's kind of like a safety for that. But if you continue to be worried about that, and you just like a little added security, you could definitely take a couple wraps of the electrical tape right around there, the end, and that would basically render the lighter useless until you got that off. Okay, now I'm going to take the lunch bag. Just going to insert the smoke grenade into the lunch bag, and then I'm going to wrap it once like that. I'm not doing the lunch bag up until I've closed this off. I'm putting the lunch bag on because these are made out of paper. Okay, it's kind of like a super heavy-duty toilet paper roll, and I don't want that water or moisture to compromise the usefulness of the item. So I wrap it with the Ziploc open, pull it around like that. I'm going to put one more wrap of the electrical tape around it here, just like so. Grab it, wrap once around, pull off, and there you go. There's the complete package ready to go. I've got the lighter attached, so I could just hand this to somebody and say, hey, go throw this out the window, okay, or go toss this out in the courtyard or something like that, and it's all self-contained, and they don't need anything other than me just handing this item to them. That's how I would set up each individual item. If you wanted to, and this might be redundancy or setting a system up now. So now let's say you have somebody, one individual person in your group that's going to worry about this kind of stuff. Or maybe you're just one individual person and you're wanting to kind of compartmentalize different bags and items and things. You could have, this is an ATS tactical gear, little pouch. It's about, I don't know, 8 or 9 inches long, maybe a little bit more than that. You can find these on skdtac.com, skdtac.com. And guess what? Check that out. This bag is made in the USA. How cool is that? And you can see here it has some elastic loops in it. And the way I've set this up, it also has a little keeper that comes with this. They're long. I like that. It's a good use of space on my body. So you can attach this to a MOLLE system, or even just snap these down and run your belt loop through. This gives you a pouch for any number of items. These will hold a full-sized Nalgene bottle, okay? But what you could do is you could set up this pouch. I'm just going to have my smoke grenades in this pouch. And you could have a Bic lighter for each of them, and then you could have an extra lighter like this tucked down in this lower strap there. And then you could just pop that out and you could use it, or you could take it off and attach it to your clothing. I've just taken a couple wraps of electrical tape and used some 550 cord there to attach it so I can have that little beaner on it. Right? It's just a little plastic, cheap carabiner kind of an item there. So that would give me a redundancy. I can now clip that onto my gear. I could even clip it onto the outside of my pouch as I'm using it. And that would give me a redundancy there with the lighters, just in case something got lost or broken, or somehow the lighter wasn't working. At this point, I want to look at the deployment or use of these smoke grenades, or any smoke grenades, in terms of a situation where it might be without rule of law, or there are hostile individuals seeking to harm you. Let's say this is a building, and you had the opportunity to take control of this building, and you have control of the roof, okay? Or one of the top stories, something like that. That's you. But let's say that there's a group of individuals who have gathered outside the building that are hostile, okay, to you for whatever reason. They want you out of the area. And you would like to leave the area, but you're worried about what these individuals are going to do to you. And they keep trying to make entry into the building, and in doing so in a hostile way. But you don't want to use lethal force. You don't really feel, you're not sure what they're trying to do, and you're not ready to escalate. They haven't shot at you. They haven't thrown a Molotov cocktail at you. They're just using verbal abuse, and you know, you can tell that they're hostile towards you, and they're trying to get into the building, and you feel like, you know, this is your building, you have a reason to be there, and they don't have a reason to be there. You haven't like taken their home over, okay? That's not what I'm talking about here, but you're trying to keep them out. One of the ways that you could use these items, and one of the reasons I like them, is they're non-lethal, okay? These aren't going to hurt anybody. Now let's assume that this is in some kind of a residential area, or some kind of an urban environment where this is like gravel, concrete, dirt, green grass. You're not going to light anything on fire. If you're careful with these, you're not going to light anything on fire, and they're not lethal. So I can use these to keep people back from the building. So you deploy these just by throwing these down here. Now, in doing that, you're going to create a smoke screen for your adversaries. They're not going to be able to see in, but you may lose visual contact on these people. So you'd want to be careful of that. But you throw this down here, and this covers this area with smoke. And I would use that as a distraction, maybe 3 or 4 of them down here, okay? Bloom, bloom, bloom. You drop those down, okay? And while that's going on, the people you care about, other individuals from your group, are exiting out the back of the building and away, all right? To me, that would be an effective use of these. Now, there's probably, I said previous in the video, these will last 2 minutes. That is not the case that I found today. I've seen other places where these cannon smokes supposedly lasted longer. I've used them before and thought they lasted longer, but you're going to get max about 40 seconds out of these. But if you had 3 or 4 and you kind of stagger them, you could buy yourself some time. Also, in a kind of a situation that might occur where you have multi-storied building, with think parking garage, something like that, okay? Let's erase this here. Think a parking garage, or a multi-layered, almost like a school building or an apartment complex. Okay, so you've got the inside of the building. We're looking inside, and these are floors, and you've got a stairwell that's running like this down, okay, up and down. If you are here at the top of the stairwell, again, I'd want to be really careful and make sure there isn't carpet or couches or things. And these are one of these open stairwells where people can look up at you and you can look down on them. I might be willing in a given situation, because individuals are trying to, in an aggressive way, move up this stairwell towards me. I might drop a couple of these down onto different levels of the staircase. Again, I want to make sure that this isn't going to light the building on fire I'm in, because I'm up, and this might be the only way that I have to get down. Okay, but if I could do that and drop these down onto a concrete pad or something like that and smoke this whole stairwell up, that's going to stop individuals, or that's going to buy me some time as they try to move up on me. And in those situations, I think that would be an effective deployment of these. Either filling this area, again, being very careful in the building situation that I'm not burning the building down that I'm in, or on an external situation where I'm buying myself time as individuals are trying to harm me, and it's buying time and allowing individuals to escape. Now, one of the things that I was reminded of as I did this video here is my neighbors came out, a couple young guys, and they saw that I was firing these smoke grenades off, and they thought it was pretty cool, and they were checking them out and they were enjoying that. And it just reminded me, nothing screams help or problem or will get people's attention like smoke does. I particularly like the white smoke grenades because they don't look like something you use to signal. White smoke is smoke from a fire. You know, that's what most people are going to assume. And I like that about these white ones. So I kind of save the white ones for non-signaling use. I don't really think these have a very good signaling application because they're only lasting 30-40 seconds. They're putting out quite a bit of smoke. It does hang in the air, but it's not the kind of smoke that an airplane or a helicopter or something's going to see. You might use these from a shorter distance, maybe 100 yards, 50 yards, to light one and wave it or something like that to get people's attention. But I don't think they really have a useful application for signaling. But the white smoke one would definitely get people's attention. You see that coming out from underneath the car, you can create a situation where people are looking that way. Is that car going to blow up? What's going on? It gets people's attention looking that way while you're running or leaving or exiting this way. Another great tool that you could combine with these smoke grenades is a road flare. Okay, again, you want to use this carefully. This definitely will light stuff on fire. If you're wondering how long a road flare lasts, these are Orion road flares. You can see the manufacture date right there, June 2013. They last 15 minutes, okay? So I would assume maximum, best situation, 15 minutes. This road flare has a cap, like most road flares. You can see right there, basically like a match, okay? Like a matchstick, and this is what you just strike that on, okay? You want to keep that top on until you want to use it. But you throw a couple of these out, you throw this into a brush pile or something like that, boom, throw a couple of these smokes out, and you got some action. This is providing light, this is providing smoke, so in a night situation, this is going to grab people's attention really, really well. This is going to also grab people's attention. You got a smoky, hazy situation, you got a couple of road flares out there, and you're able to exit and not have to use any lethal force, and it's buying you time and allowing other people, both you and possibly your adversaries or those individuals who do you harm, giving them an opportunity to live and to not harm them. And I really think, particularly people in the prepper community and survival lists, I mean, if you want to use that term, or individuals that are just worried about the protection of their families, and I think that's a great thing. I think we need to value life, not just the lives of the people we love and care about, but also the lives of other people who might find themselves in a bad situation, hungry, tired, angry, starving, and might react negatively in one situation, whereas in other situations they just be a normal person walking by on the side of the street. I don't think, I see in the kind of survival community, prepper community, there are lots of individuals who are subscribing to this ideology that I'm talking about, valuing life. Not just your life, not just the lives of those you love, but all human beings' lives. But there are also individuals that seem to me to just be stockpiling weapons and food and hoping for a zombie apocalypse, if I can use that terminology, so they can just shoot people, so they can have a first-person shooter. I hate that. That is such a misuse and a sick ideology, if I can call it that. I'm completely opposed to that. I want to value life. These items right here will help me protect my life in a situation and help me not shed blood, help me not take the lives of other individuals. Okay, if I don't have to do that, why would I do that? There's no reason to just start pulling out guns and shooting if you can use other techniques to keep people away from you. Maybe you can do this enough that people just go away. This seems like a prepared person will walk down the road. And in the process of them walking down the road, you know, it just buys you time. It buys them time to think about it. And, you know, that's the kind of things that I'd like to see more people looking at. Non-lethal things that they can use. I think these smoke grenades, these Cannon brand smoke grenades, are a great item that'll help you do that. Road flares are another great item that would help you do that. Would also be good for starting fires. Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope it's proved useful to you. My goal at Survival Solutions USA is to produce quality videos on urban, suburban, and wilderness survival solutions to problems that you might encounter. Thank you very much for your views and your subscriptions.